This matchup is a clash between the unpredictable alien physics of the Sumerian twins and the refined orthodox jujutsu of Earth's most skilled Grade 1 sorcerers. In an authentic setting, this fight would likely take place in a post-Shinjuku or Modulo-era urban environment. The combatants, the Sumerian duo, Maru and Cross. Maru, the sage, operates on the principle of harmony. He manipulates molecular stability, effectively freezing matter, creating barriers, or settling cursed energy to dampen its effect. Cross, the warrior, operates on the principle of chaos. He is the aggressive half, manipulating molecular excitation to cause explosions, heat, or gravitational shifts. The twin link, they share a single cursed technique pool. While they are a highly synchronized unit, if one is using a high-output move, the other must play a supportive role. The Earth duo, Higuruma and Kutsakabe. Hiromi Higuruma, the prodigy, a legal genius whose domain, deadly sentencing, enforces nonviolence and places the opponent on trial. He has the potential for instant kill lethality via the executioner's sword. Atsuya Kutsakabe, the defensive peak. The master of New Shadow style, simple domain. He is arguably the best pure sorcerer, capable of parrying almost any physical or cursed energy attack within his range. The breakdown analysis. 1. The domain factor. Deadly sentencing versus Sumerian logic. The fight hinges on Higuruma's domain expansion. The trial. If Higuruma catches the twins, the legal system would struggle with their alien nature. However, because Cross is the more aggressive and bitter twin, he is more likely to be charged with a crime. Confiscation. If judgment finds them guilty, Maru and Cross could lose their harmony/chaos technique. Since they share a technique, confiscating one would theoretically depower both siblings. The counter. Kutsakabe's simple domain provides a safe zone. If Maru and Cross attempt to overwrite the domain with their own planetary order, we get a domain clash where the Earth duo has more experience with barrier mechanics. 2. Offense versus defense. Chaos versus simple domain. Kutsakabe's role. He is the ultimate shield. Cross's chaos attacks, molecular explosions/gravity shifts, are precisely the kind of environmental phenomena Kutsakabe specializes in parrying. He can use Evening Moon to intercept Cross before he can get close to Higuruma. Cross's role. He would focus on overwhelming Kutsakabe with erratic movement and heat. However, Kutsakabe's auto-intercept mode is a hard counter to Cross's close-quarters swordplay. 3. The win condition. For the Earth duo, Higuruma needs to secure a death penalty verdict. If he obtains the executioner's sword, one graze on either twin ends the fight. Kutsakabe's job is simply to buy the time, approx 2 to 3 minutes, for the trial to conclude. For the Cimmerian duo, they must prevent the domain from ever opening or disrupt it from the inside using Maru's third eye. If Maru can see the cursed energy rules of the courtroom, he might argue his own case or use harmony to stabilize the domain's barrier until it collapses. The verdict. Factor. Winner. Reason. Teamwork. Maru and Cross. Twins who literally share a soul and technique. Experience. Kutsakabe. Decades of combat against every type of curse and sorcerer. Hacks. Special abilities. Higuruma. Confiscation and Executioner's Sword are top-tier win cons. Reflexes. Kutsakabe/Maru both possess auto-reactive defenses. Winner. Higuruma and Kutsakabe. High difficulty. In a direct brawl, the Cimmerian's molecular manipulation is superior. However, Kutsakabe is the perfect partner for Higuruma. Kutsakabe's ability to defend both himself and his ally against chaos and harmony allows Higuruma the breathing room to execute a trial. Because Maru and Cross are one in the eyes of Jujutsu as twins, a single guilty verdict from judgment would likely cripple both of them simultaneously, leaving them vulnerable to a finishing blow from Kutsakabe's katana or Higuruma's gavel. In a full authentic simulation, this team battle is a clash of eras and biological hierarchies. We are placing the Cimmerian twins, Maru and Cross, against the tactical wall of Higuruma and Kutsakabe. The scenario. Shinjuku ruins. The fight takes place in a desolate urban environment. The twins stand on a floating piece of debris, while the earth sorcerers maintain a defensive formation on the street level. Phase 1. The tactical opening. Kutsakabe immediately expands his simple domain, Evening Moon. He knows the twins are other, and his instincts scream that their cursed energy is fundamentally different from humans. Maru, the sage, attempts to settle the atmosphere to prevent movement, but Kutsakabe's auto-intercept parries the molecular pressure itself. Cross, the warrior, doesn't wait. He uses chaos to ignite the oxygen around the Earth duo. Kutsakabe parries the heat waves, but the ground beneath them begins to liquefy due to molecular agitation. Phase 2. The legal trap, deadly sentencing. Seeing the environmental destruction, Higuruma finds his opening. He expands his domain, deadly sentencing. The conflict of the domain forces a non-violence pact. Because Maru and Cross are Sumerian twins, Judgment views them as a single biological unit, similar to the Zenin twins. The charge. The twins are charged with illegal entry invasion, referencing the 50,000 Sumerian refugees arriving on Earth. The trial, Maru, being the genius inspector, actually attempts to argue the case. He opens his third eye to perceive the legal logic as physical vectors. He argues that they are refugees under humanitarian distress. The verdict, Judgment, is indifferent to alien ethics. The verdict, guilty. The penalty, confiscation of their shared cursed technique, harmony/chaos. Phase 3. The CQC, close quarters combat struggle. Deprived of their molecular manipulation, the twins are forced into a physical brawl. Cross is a powerhouse, but Kutsakabe is the strongest grade 1 inch for a reason. Without his gravity manipulation, Cross cannot bypass Kusakabe's swordplay. Higuruma now wields the executioner's sword. He only needs one touch. Phase 4. The twist, Cimmerian resilience. In the modulo lore, Cimmerians don't just rely on cursed techniques, they have unique physiology. Maru uses his third eye to see the CE flow of the executioner's sword. Even without his technique, he can dodge at a level that rivals a heavenly restriction. The twins synchronize their movements perfectly. Even without their chaos, they use a shared gravitational bond to move in tandem, making it a 2-on-1 dance against Higuruma. The final result, combatant. Performance, status. Kutsakabe held the line against molecular agitation, protected Higuruma. MVP. Higuruma successfully stripped the twins' main win con. Active. Maru survived the executioner's sword via third eye precognition. Retreating. Cross, heavily injured by Kusakabe's parries. Incapacitated. Winner. Higuruma and Kutsakabe. Extreme difficulty. The Earth duo wins because Higuruma's domain is a hard counter to twins. By treating them as a single entity, he strips the offensive and defensive capabilities of both simultaneously. While Maru's third eye allows him to survive the executioner's sword for a time, he cannot protect an incapacitated Cross while being hunted by the most skilled swordsman of the modern era, Kutsakabe. Would you like me to simulate what happens if Maru uses his third eye to successfully win the trial against Judgment?